So last week, presciently, you wrote a piece in the Financial Times saying, time for business leaders to wake up. This morning, as you look at the headlines, have they woken up? And if so, why? Is this an economic issue?
I've been glad to see what many in the tech community have said. I think they've recognized that as global businesses, they've got a huge stake in the United States being a nation of the Statue of Liberty rather than being a nation of refugee camps and barbed wire. They've got a huge stake in the United States supporting an open, tolerant global system. They have that stake for their employees. They have it for their customers. They have it for the reputation of the United States, and they've spoken out. I've been gratified by what we've heard out of the tech sector. We've heard rather less so far out of the mainstream business community, and I'm going to be watching in particular the members of the advisory board that President Trump has appointed to help him make America great again, because this action's an important test of that. And we'll see whether they're going to go along with it or whether they're going to speak out. I think what John McCain and Lindsey Graham did is really a very good example of principled leadership. And at moments like this, everyone is tested about whether they speak out on what they believe or whether they decide to accommodate.
Right, Larry, but one, at least, leader of mainstream industry, Jeff Immelt, has spoken out. I've noted we haven't heard from any of the domestic U.S. automakers, though, yet. To what extent are CEOs really, do you think, influenced by the threat of that Trump tweet?
I don't know. They can speak for themselves. I'm sure that most of them share the values of inclusion, the values of American tradition that were reflected in the statements that John McCain and Lindsey Graham made, the statements that Jeff Immelt made. And I don't know whether it's a sadder thing if others don't have those values, or whether it's a sadder thing if they're being intimidated by the prospect of a tweet. But it's an extraordinary thing, David, if business leaders in the United States are being intimidated by a president's threats of calling them out when the president's been in office for 1 week. That is an extraordinary change in what the United States is about. It's not all new. Richard Nixon had an enemies list. There are other instances historically, but if that's happening and it's working, it seems to me that every American ought to be deeply concerned. Whatever your views on particular questions about tax policy or trade policy, detaining people, detaining refugees, that's what we failed to do during the moments of the Holocaust, are generally thought of as some of the most shameful moments in American history. And elevating that to high principle is, I think, deplorable. And the only thing worse, in a way, is if people are being intimidated from speaking out against it.